Pisces, divine soul, how are you? My name is Vince. Welcome to 7D Tarot. If this message resonates, like, subscribe, and comment. And for more clarity on your situation, check out your sun, moon, and rising signs. If you would like to schedule your own personal reading with me, all the info you need is in the description box below. And for a totally fresh perspective, check out my wife's channel over at Empath Tarot. You will love her. You can find her info in the description box as well. And Pisces, make sure you stay tuned till the end of your reading where I will pull a message from your ancestors tying everything together. All right, so let's dive right in. Wow, okay, so your angels are telling you that when you have a coherent heart, you draw your manifestations to you. And right now, when you have that brain and heart coherence, working synergistically, you're tapping into the field, right? Not in the state of matter or particle, but in the 5th and 7th dimension. And now you're quantum entangling with an energy. The energy that I'm feeling is that it's your soulmate, kindred spirit, someone that you may know from a previous life. The fact that you got the Lover's card and the Ace of Cups lets you know that this is going to happen sooner than later. So really understand that it's not only, you don't only can think about it, but you have to feel it as well. And your angels are telling you to not have one foot in, one foot out. Because I do see here, it's like every time you exercise a will greater than the programming, every time you start filling your heart full of unconditional love, every time you get magnetic, all of a sudden ego comes and self-sabotages you. And it brings you back to the fear pit and fear mode. And when you're in fear mode, when that survival, fight or flight kicks in and really we're releasing cortisol and adrenaline in our body, and all of a sudden now we can't think clearly because we have tunnel vision and we're just so worried about, our bills, our worries, our thoughts, our body, our things. That's when we're at a state of creation, love, right? And the last thing someone is thinking about is their soulmate when they're in fear, right? For example, like if a tiger shows up, you don't care about finding true love. You're like, how am I going to deal with this tiger? That is fight or flight. That's the exact same thing when you're thinking of your bills, your worries, your problems, right? It's fight or flight. And right now your angels are telling you that in order for you to get the divine abundance that is your birthright, you have to let go. You have to let go of this energy, this limiting belief and shadow you've been holding on to. You got to let go and understand that when you actually give your body a taste of the future, when you let yourself fall in love with the passion that really awaits you, now having that brain and heart coherence is easily. And now you're so tolerant with others. Like for example, like you're not judging them. Judging is just like the quickest way to lower frequency. You're not comparing yourself to other people, for example. Comparison is the thief of joy. And instead you're so tolerant. But being tolerant with others is great, but being self-disciplined, being strict with yourself in that sense and not being like talking poorly to yourself is another thing. And right now your angels are telling you that really see your worth, know what you bring to the table, because when you do, now you're no longer in the fear pit. When you know what you bring to the table, when you understand that you are a beautiful person, you have such good energy. Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. When I say beauty, I always talk about energy, right? Like for example, like the last thing you want to do is date someone that looks like they're in a magazine, but the moment they open their mouth, you're like, ugh, you start cringing. Right now, beauty is energy. And right now you have such good energy. The vibrations I get from you is you have this beautiful aura about you that's so magnetic that everyone wants to be around when you are yourself, when you are confident. When you are confident, it's just like you can move mountains with your energy. Your soul is shining so bright and you have such good vibrations all around you and everything you touch turns to gold, but that's when you're shining, right? Whenever we're wishing, wanting, hoping, needing, whenever we're in that fear pit, we're causing resistance. We don't love ourselves. We're pushing everyone else away. And that's when it's just like when it rains, it pours. Right now, Spirit's telling you, life is supposed to be effortless. Everything you're doing is supposed to be coasting through. You're not supposed to feel as if you have to grind or force or, try to make something happen. And the more that you go with the flow, the moment that you get yourself in alignment and the moment you really listen to yourself and really understand that, like, don't try to define success by a thing. Like, for example, like I will be happy when I'm with my soulmate, I'm rich, I'm, have six-pack abs. Don't put a label on it, right? Actually, you can't see the label when you're in the jar, for example. So what does that really mean? Success is nothing more than you being better than who you were yesterday. That is the only thing you want to compare yourself to. If you want to compare yourself to anybody, compare yourself to who you were yesterday. What did you do? Are you slightly better than you were yesterday? I'll give you an example. I strive to be 1% better a day. You may ask, whoa, 1%, that's nothing. Well, that's 365% progress in a year. That's 37x. That is quite dandy if you ask me. So 1% progress is listening to an audiobook, holding the door open for someone, giving a compliment, exercising, eating healthy foods, anything, reading a book, whatever, on the way to work, throw on a podcast, right? Rather than listen to the advertisements just blasting, talking about gibberish, or the news telling you about, oh my goodness, boogeyman's coming. Listen to a podcast from Dr. Joe Dispenza, Reprogram Your Subconscious Mind. Listen to a podcast from Abraham Hicks. Connect with Source. And here we are. Now, I also do see here that you are attracting people that are in harmony with you, right? You have this, again, this beautiful magnetic energy. And I see here that someone's entering your life. They seem to be a master of their finances, and they seem to be someone who's either a business owner or someone who, has a very good job. And I see here that they're entering your life because they're meant to teach you something, but you're also going to teach them. So don't be humble and try to brush it off. Someone is going to enter your life and want to mentor you, guide you, invest in you, share something with you. And this is the time for you to really look at it from that perspective, because I do see here that you also are going to be teaching and sharing with them a lot as well. Financially, I see them helping you, and I see you spiritually helping them, because you're on the right path and you have this beautiful spiritual powers about you. But know your worth and know what you bring to the table, right? Understand that spirituality may seem easy for you. It may not seem sexy and cool, but it is. I'll give you an example. When I met my wife, Alicia, I had the King of Wands energy, just gung-ho, business-minded. Like, I don't take no for an answer. If I want something, I will go get it. And I had that aura around me, and I still do. But when I met her, she had more of a Queen of Cups energy. This is 14 years ago. I didn't even know what the law of attraction was. And I remember she told me, she's like, do you know what the law of attraction is? And I'm like, law of attraction? I'm like, that must be a Disney movie. I thought it was cute. Then I looked into it. I'm like, what the heck? Quantum physics, quantum entanglement, vibration, frequency, energy, source. This stuff's real. It's not hocus pocus. I looked into it. I'm like, whoa. Like all the greatest minds in the world, Nikola Tesla, Einstein, Da Vinci, they all said they tapped into the field, right? The field is nothing more, in other words, for the mystical realm or spiritual world. It means what your eyes can't see, right? Real quantum energy. So right now, law of attraction is real. Once I found out this was, she gifted me this knowledge and I looked into it, at that point, I always admired her. Till this day, I look at her in awe, right? That's the same thing with you. You are going to be sharing your knowledge and wisdom with someone. They are going to be very grateful and respectful for the fact that you did this. They're not going to forget this. But understand that your true powers, like your supernatural powers that you truly possess because you're a spiritual being, everything you're looking for is right here at your fingertips. But understand that it is right here in the now, present moment. So right now, all the stuff I said, right? Hold the door open for someone, listen to a podcast, eat healthy, read a book. When does that take place? Does that take place in the distant future, in the familiar past? No, it's always right now, right here, right now. And when you really focus your awareness on that, you will get the downloads, the clarity, the answers you need. Everything will start making sense. And then you know exactly what to do. And that's what it really comes down to. So during this time frame, you have a choice. Hold on to fear, limiting beliefs, shadows, boring, been there before, or act as if, just be, like basically chameleon spirit, just be spiritual being, right? Be mindless and open to receive. And then the hesitation, procrastination goes out the window, and then everything is smooth sailing afterwards. So what does that mean? Right now, you got to be mindless and open to receive. What does being mindless mean? That means you got to meditate. What is meditation? It means not thinking. Well, how can you not think? Well, what I like to do is imagine a golden ball of light within my chest. When I close my eyes, I visualize that ball of light getting brighter and brighter, and I'm like feeling it, and I want it to shine. What am I doing? Thinking of that ball of light. I'm a light ray, conscious being. What am I not doing? Thinking of my bills, my worries, my thoughts, my body, none of that, right? So that's why I always like to visualize something that is not thinking. Do you know what I mean? All right, Pisces, I pulled a message from your ancestors right now. They say celebrate differences, and I will read from the book for you. This is number 3. Let's see what they want you to know. So right now your ancestors say, you understand that everything in life comes with an opposite. Even within yourself, you have polarity, male, female, high, low, good, bad, light, dark. It is our differences that make us unique. We all came from the same collective and all have the light rate, right? Look at that. Light of the inner soul. The more we learn and grow in our thoughts and attitudes, the more understanding and compassion can develop within our lives. Take a moment to appreciate individual for the qualities that they are sharing with you and find what learning can be gained from the situation. There's always something you can learn from somebody and also a situation. I'll give you an example. Imagine you're driving, someone cuts you off, they almost hit your car. You're like, what the heck was that? And then you're furious, you're mad. Now you have an option. Pick up the handle of fear, drive up next to them and flip them the bird, which I don't suggest, or pick up the handle of love. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? believe it or not. And then you could be like, okay, well, in this situation, I can learn that as I'm driving, that even if the person looks at me and makes eye contact with me and tells me that they're going to wait, they will still pull in front of me because of fear will probably make them cut the matrix. So I have learned, like, I'm trying to find things you could learn, but I have learned in this situation that you cannot expect anything from anybody. So instead of getting mad at the person, you're like, hold on, how can I use this situation to my benefit? Now all of a sudden you put down the handle of fear, you pick up the handle of love, works like a charm. What is the lesson? And move on. All right, Pisces, hope you enjoyed your reading. Hope there was a message in here for you. If there was, like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Till next time, ciao.